Okay, adjusting the clutch cable. I have all the slack out of the front, the adjuster up front, or all the slack into the cable, in other words. That's completely compressed. The cable is sloppy loose. Down here, I've removed the primary cover. Loosened up the lock nut so that, and spun it back so that's away from there, and this is back and completely loose. Okay, I'll have my assistant take over the camera here if she would. Now this is what I found for me works really good, because I've struggled with clutch cable adjustment in the past and I know other guys have, so I thought, I'm doing this, I'll make a video on it. This is what I found out from experience. What I like to do is if you read in the manual, it says to turn that in till there's light pressure. Okay, well, there it's completely loose. What I like to do is find a point where, oh, there it is. I try and find a point where I can have the Allen wrench basically straight up and down and drop it. Just play around with it till I find the point where, there we go, where I can have it straight up and down and it drops and stops on its own, basically here, a little down like I have it, off to the side. Boom, right there, that's it. That's the lightly seated point that the manual's talking about. Now what I do from there is I back it off. The manual says half to a full turn, I believe. I go about a half. See if I go like this. So there's a half turn, and then I take it like another eighth or so, or a little over. So about 5/8, maybe a little over, backed off. Okay. I've got this little socket that I made. It's a socket that fits in there, and then I can put a 3/4 inch wrench on this. I had to do that with this variable pressure clutch in there, otherwise I could never get a tool back in there. So that's the spot I want it. Next I'll turn the lock nut in with my finger till it's down snug. Guess I had that backed off far enough. Okay. And then put this on there without turning anything and stick the wrench right back into where I had it. There we go. So that nothing is moved. And then I can get on here with a 3/4 inch wrench. And I know there's a torque spec on this, but if you just snug it down by hand like so, that's it. All right, now that that's done, we need to adjust the cable. As you can see, it's still completely sloppy.
Which side do you want me on?
Make this easier. Go like that with my bungee, and now I can get to this easier. Now what I do when I'm doing this is you got to go quite a ways to really get anything on it, so I'll go like maybe to where I got about a 1/2 inch of threads out on the adjuster. And at that point I start pulling this lever. Give it a few pulls. See, I can feel it right there. It's starting to engage already. And then I'll come down here and just give it a little more. And keep pulling this as I go. This is just what I found keeps me from having issues. And you want to go until you've got about 1/8 of an inch of gap here. If you pull that out, I got to go a little farther. At this point, it doesn't take much down here to make a big difference. So gotta go a little more. That's getting pretty close right there. I'm gonna go just a touch more. That's pretty good. 9 times out of 10, I'll get on it, ride it, don't move a thing. So now I just gotta tighten up the lock nut down below on the adjuster, and it should be good to go.